dig up a past I swore would stay buried.
You will always be a monster.
Ares! I have nothing more to hide.
The ghost of Sparta had been born.
So we all know that in God of War Ragnarok, it is explained that Kratos' old weapons and magical abilities are no longer working since the magic of Olympus is gone, now that Greece is destroyed.
Brother, I've been meaning to ask. Your homeland. I'd heard the gods there wielded every flavor of power you could imagine. Lightning, fire, the whole lot.
As did I, for many years.
Whoa. Any chance you could recall some of that magic?
No, I have tried.
Magic is bound to the earth. When your homeland died, your powers probably went with it.
Well, probably for the best. Let the past stay in the past and all that.
So weapons like Hades' soul blades, Hermes' boots, and even the blade of Olympus don't work anymore since the magic that empowered these weapons is dead. But hold on a second, something doesn't add up. If this is true, why do the blades of chaos still possess their primordial fires? Were the blades of chaos forged somewhere outside of Greece? No. Because it was explicitly explained in the first God of War that the blades of chaos were forged in the depth of Tartarus.
The blades of chaos, forged in the foulest depths of Hades. Once attached, the chains remained so, chained and seared to the flesh, a part of the bearer's body, a permanent reminder of Kratos' pledge.
So, are we missing something? With the information we've been given, it should follow that since magic is tied to the land that it's from, and Greece no longer exists, which means Tartarus no longer exists, the magic in Kratos' blades should be dead. So what does this mean? Let's see. First, we need to establish the fact that Greece actually still exists, and the land still flourishes. How do we know that? Because of the vase in Tyr's temple, which indicates that there are humans there who still practice pottery, and the tapestry in the elevator room, which shows Tyr visiting the Greeks after Kratos' rampage. So to conclude that Kratos' Greek magic is dead is illogical because we know that the Greek land is not. And we've seen the blades of chaos in action. So the question really is, why can't Kratos recall his old Greek magic? Like the magic we see him possess in God of War 3. Why can't Kratos use the claws of Hades to summon souls from the underworld? Or use his blades of chaos to bring forth an army of exiled Spartans, etc.? Well, the answer is actually quite obvious. To use those abilities, Kratos needed blue orbs, which were only found in Greece. Even while Kratos was in Greece, he couldn't use his Greek abilities without blue orbs. And so without blue orbs, Kratos obviously wouldn't be able to use his abilities in Norse lands. But fine, what about the bow of Apollo, or the head of Helios, or Hermes' boots? They didn't need blue orbs for Kratos to use them. In fact, Kratos could use those weapons frequently. He just had to wait for a cooldown while the magic replenished itself. What happened to the magic held in those items? Well, they were drained by Zeus at the end of God of War 3. Not only did Zeus drain all of Kratos' weapons from their powers, but he even drained Kratos of the magic that allowed him to use the powers of those weapons. So in conclusion, Greece still stands. People still live there. The magic that comes from it has not perished, or otherwise the primordial fires in the Blades of Chaos would have died. Kratos can't use his old Greek abilities because there are no blue orbs in Norse that would enable him to use them, and Zeus drained all the magic from Kratos' weapons, and he also drained the power that Kratos held, which allowed him to use his Greek instruments of destruction. That's it. Anyway, that's all for today's video. Thank you all for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more content like this. If you have any theories yourself, why don't you leave a comment down below, and I'll make sure to have a look.